Welcome everyone to Movement Yoga. We'll get going in a minute or so. My name is Mark Cormier. I'm working with Kathy Cormier this morning, my wife, and welcome everyone. If you'd like to see any particular pose worked on or part of the body that you'd like to focus on, feel free to put it in the chat. I'll check the chat from time to time. All right. You ready, Kathy? Come on down. Anything you'd like to work on in particular today, Kathy?
Oh, just the usual, opening my shoulders and heart.
Opening shoulders and heart? Well, you have a very open heart. Cool, well, let's get going. So let's find our feet. I'll invite you to bring hands on hips. With hands on hips, we can march it from side to side. From a side to side march, I'll invite you to ground down through both feet as we rock it from side to side. And then finding your center. Now rocking it front to back as we lift the toes and lift the heels. A little bit of a balance challenge. Whoa. And then staying grounded through the toes and grounded through the heels as we rock it front to back. And then finding your center. From here, let's work with those arms and shoulders, keeping it simple, inhaling arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling arms back down. 2 more times like this, just observing the natural rhythm of the shoulders. As the arms elevate, the shoulders elevate. As the arms descend, the shoulders descend. 1 more time, breathing in. And breathing out. Adding a forward fold. Inhaling up. On the exhale, leading with your heart as you fold. Take a breath to arc the back. Hands can cap the knees. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Hands can catch the back of the shins. Inhaling, arms out to the side, moving towards a flat back and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. 2 more times like this. Half sun salutation. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in, finding length. Keeping that length as we round the spine. Inhaling, moving towards a flat back, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. We got 1 more to go here. Breathing in. And breathing out. Take a breath to breathe in. Take a breath to breathe out. Inhaling up. And exhaling, standing tall. Sun salutation A, I'll ask you to go sideways. And how's the frame look?
That's good.
Good, all right. So inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, a big forward fold. Take a breath to arc the back. And on the exhale, grounding on down. And I will not cue vinyasa, so I'll invite you to find your down dog. And hold that for a few breaths. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to walk your dog as you bend one leg deeply and then the other. Grounding down through the opposite heel, just seeing how your body feels this morning. What feels tight, what feels right, what feels somewhere in between. And then from a place of movement, I'll invite you to move back towards relative stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine, deep full breath. Despite the lack of overt movement, you're still breathing, your heart's still beating, your mind's still moving. And by focusing on your breath, finding a little more space between each breath, each beat of the heart, each thought. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher, more space in the low back, and then looking between the hands as you either step or maybe you take a jump to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length when you arrive, arcing the back. Exhaling, arching the spine as you fold. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, standing tall. Second one, much like the first, this time I will cue vinyasa. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Take a breath to arc the back. And then arching the spine as you ground down. Elbows stay soft as you find a push-up straight off the bat. Feel free to use the knees or not. Inhaling into your back bend, either cobra or up dog. And then on the exhale, rolling over the toes and finding your down dog. Other options as you know, Kathy, and at home also just reminding you, you could always sneak in the child's pose or choose all fours. Always taking care of yourself, doing what's right and good for you. And that's the beauty of a home practice. Wherever you choose to work, breathing, watching that breath, and enjoying that reflection upon your breath. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher, and then looking between the hands as you either step or take a jump from. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. Exhaling, folding again. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Let's do one more sun salé. We'll throw a moving plank into the mix. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back, your choice. And I'll give you time to do whatever is right and good for you. Awesome. Feeling free to hold your down dog or adding that moving plank as we inhale forward to plank pose. On the exhale, navel to spine as we lift the hips high. A couple more times. Inhaling forward. Exhaling, drawing it back. This third one will hold. Inhaling forward. Exhale and hold. Inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. One more half breath. Breath in. And then breath out, navel to spine, as you lift the hips high, and holding for another couple of breaths. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher, and then looking between the hands as you either step or take that jump front. Awesome jump. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding again. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Sun Salutation B, flow style. Inhaling into your chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up, a little half back bend at the top. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length as you look up. On the exhale, keeping that length as you fold and grounding on down and making your way back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back. From down dog, flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, right leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. High in the left toes as you stretch out Achilles tendon and calf. And then looking between the hands, bringing that right foot through, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead, warrior one. And then riding your exhale back to low lunge, and from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back, yogi's choice. From down dog, second side. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high in the right toes. Looking between the hands as you bring that left foot through, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side and then overhead. Inhaling. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back, your choice. Listening to your body, and most importantly, respecting what your body has to say. Wherever you choose to work. Coming back to that Samarvriti, same breath, long, smooth breaths in. Equally long, smooth breaths out. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you either step or take a jump from. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding again. Inhaling, stay low, coming back to that chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine, hands by your side. Let's do one more Sun Sal B. We'll throw a hip opener into the mix. Inhaling into our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, folding again and making your way back to down dog as you will. Awesome. Find your flow, follow your breath. Take your time. And first side here with the hip opener. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky. High in the left toes. Keeping that right shoulder just as it is, twisting from the ribs, lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip, any amount. Now pitching that right knee even higher, and then sweeping that right foot through, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead for our warrior one. And then riding your exhale back to low lunge. Take your time. Not that you're not. Awesome. Beautiful. Kathy does know how to take her time. She really moves through these poses with lots of reflection. Really feeling the action. And second side. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high in the right toes. Keeping that left shoulder just as it is, twisting from the ribs, lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip. And then pitching that left knee even higher, and then sweeping that left foot through, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead for our warrior one. And then riding your exhale back to low lunge as you spin that back heel up, and from low lunge back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back, yogi's choice. Awesome. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your Ujjayi breath flows in and as your Ujjayi breath flows out. And Ujjayi is the victorious breath, the go-to breath in many flow practices. A slight constriction of the base of the throat to add a slight sounded feel to your breath. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher, and then looking between the hands as you either step or take a jump from. Take a breath to find length as you arc. On the exhale, arching the spine as you fold. On the inhale, moving towards a flat back, finding your chair pose, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up, glutes engaged, supporting that half back bend at the top. On the exhale, neutral spine, hands by your side. I'll ask you to face camera, Kathy, as we bring hands to heart. A light press of your thumb against your sternum as you line up each finger. Relax shoulders, a soft tuck of the chin. Coming back to an internal focus, watching as your breath flows in and out. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, hands by your side. So if your feet aren't hip width apart, I'll invite you to get them there, either stepping or jumping. Hands on hips.
That's a piece of glass.
Oh, that's not good. Interesting. Yeah, maybe a bowl brook. Yeah. All right, let's work a breath exercise. Our fire breath. So short, sharp exhalations out through the nose. Knees are soft here as we inhale the arms up in front. On the exhale, casting the hands back 8 times. We're halfway done. Last 2. And then back up. And either stepping or jumping it back in. So there you go. And you don't have to work too tight a stance here. Sun Sal C, I'll ask you to go sideways. And we'll work through some standing poses. Inhaling into our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length as you look up. Keeping that length as you fold again. And grounding on down and making your way back to down dog as you will. You can take your time, find your breath, follow your flow. So we'll work that same hip opener. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky, high on the left toes. Keeping that right shoulder anchored, twisting from the ribs, lifted leg straight as you stack the hips. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip. And then pitching that knee even higher, and then sweeping that right foot through, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead for our warrior one. I'll invite you to bring hands back to the hips. If you're as long as you're going to get, stay right there. Otherwise, shifting your weight onto the front foot to scoot the back foot back for more length in your stance. With our hands on our hips, we can steer our hips front. They're not going to get there, but you want to feel that energetic action. Back hip moving forward, front hip moving back. Now bringing hands onto our shoulders, relaxing our shoulders and squaring our heart front. Now finding a clasp of the fingers behind the head, pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat, and then stretching those hands high to the sky. From here, pulling silk threads, breathing in, breathing out, cactus arms, 6 times, breathing in, and breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. We're halfway done, breathing in, breathing out, last 2, breathing in, breathing out, last 1, breathing in, breathing out in, holding cactus arms. I'll invite you to ripple your fingers as you keep your hands supple. And let's move towards our first balance challenge here as we bring hands back to the hips, spinning the back heel up, either one big step or a couple of steps in. Moving towards our warrior 3 here as we pour weight into that standing leg, lifting left foot up. Either keeping hands on hips or letting those arms just hang down towards the floor, relax shoulders. Either hanging here, so you can always ground down. And then just gently rocking those hands or arms front to back to front, just feeling those shoulders. And then very organically letting those hands lift up in front and maybe lifting the face to look through those hands. You might have a little more energy in those fingers if you wanted to. Yeah, and that'll help balance, I think. Awesome, beautiful. Hands in front, come back to the hips. We'll take a big step back as we come back to warrior 1 with our hands on our hips. And now using those hands to steer warrior 1 hips to warrior 2 hips as we open up the hips to face the side. Kicking the back foot in for a little bit of a narrower stance. Heel to arch alignment is the classic. You could always work a little wider. And then finding one long arm, looking out over those front fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze. Whoa.
Am I in the camera? I think I was trying to figure out.
Oh, you're beautiful. You're right in center, Kath. From here, let's paint some rainbows. Straightening front leg without locking knee. Inhaling. Exhaling, warrior 2. Back and forth. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. We're halfway done. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 2. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 1. We'll hold that reverse warrior. Reaching up higher. Reaching down further. Finding more space between each rib. And I'll invite you to spread your fingers wide, mimicking those ribs as we find more space in our hands. Turning reverse warrior back into warrior 2. Now finding your rainbow warrior, you might grab a strap or a towel, otherwise a clasp of the fingers behind the back, shoulder blades back and down initially onto rib shelf, and then taking a deep dive inside the front leg. Take your time, find your feet, and then letting those shoulders slide from the rib shelf down towards the floor, almost like molasses sliding out of a jar. Relaxed neck, heavy head. As we hold the rainbow warrior, I'll invite you to add a little swing, a little sway, inviting any tension in your neck and shoulders to drain down through the crown of the head into the earth. Now in our rainbow warrior, I'll suggest a strong tuck of the chin, stretching out the back of the neck as we bring it on up. Coming back to our warrior 2, one long arm, looking out over those front fingers with that mixture of effort and ease. Transitioning to our triangle, thumb and forefinger finds crease of hip, and then base of rib, right? You want to deepen that crease and lengthen those ribs. Either grounding bottom hand down, thumb in line with the shin bone, or you might find some bricks outside the calf. I suggest bricks is better. And you want to feel a physical connection if you choose the bricks between the calf and the side of the brick. We can use that top hand to good effect as we rotate our ribs, opening up that shoulder, and then stretching hand high to the sky. What a beautiful triangle.
Thank you.
Yes.
I learned from you.
It is all you. Awesome. And just like to comment with every breath in, gathering energy in your center, big ball of energy. every breath out from that big ball of energy, sending energy out through both arms, both legs, both ends of the spine, connecting with the pulsation of your breath. And some say the pulsation of the breath really is the pulsation of the universe that started way back when. From here, let's move towards our second balance challenge. Top hand finds the hip. We're moving towards a half moon, softening the front knee as we take either a couple of steps or a big step in. Setting your base, right hand off to the right, make sure that base is solid and stable. Pouring weight into the standing leg as the back foot lifts up. We can use that top hand to rotate our ribs, opening up shoulders, stretching hand high. And really, it's just a triangle on one foot, still breathing into that ball of energy. And from that ball of energy in the center of yourself, finding more expansion in the universe. You notice how the balance becomes easier the more expansive you get. It's almost like you're metaphysically connecting with the room here to stabilize the shape. Coming down easily, top hand finds the hip, softening the front knee. We can land a short stance as the back foot comes down, shifting the weight into the feet as we bring hands onto hips. From here, shifting weight onto the front foot to lengthen that stance as we come back to our Warrior Two. And from Warrior Two, one long arm, you're in the frame. A big windmill of the arms as you stretch out your shoulders. There's lots of ways to windmill your way as you find your low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Take your time, find your flow, follow your breath. And while you hold down dog, we'll do a quick look-see to see who's here. Welcome Arnie, welcome Anthony, welcome Laura. So I want to move towards our second side, but before we get there, I'd like to work that moving plank pose again. Is that where your energy level is this morning, Kathy?
Sounds good.
Awesome, you can always say no, as you know. From here, inhaling forward to plank pose. On the exhale, navel to spine as you lift the hips high. Couple more times, inhaling forward, exhaling, drawing it back. One more time, we'll hold this one. Inhaling forward, exhale and hold. Inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. One more half breath in. And then breath out, navel to spine as you take it back to down dog. How's your energy level? You ready for that second side?
Sounds good.
Excellent. Flow style. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. Keeping that left shoulder just as it is, twisting from the ribs, lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip. Now pitching that left knee even higher, and then sweeping that left foot through as you spin the back heel down, arms out to the side and then overhead for our Warrior One. From Warrior One, I'll invite you to bring hands back to the hips. And if you're as long as you're going to get, you stay right there. You usually go long right off the bat. I usually go short. If you do go short, shifting weight onto the front foot, and you'll lengthen your stance as you scoot the back foot back. With our hands on our hips, we can steer our hips front. They won't actually get there, but you want to feel that energetic action, back hip, front hip back. Now bringing hands onto our shoulders, relaxing our shoulders, and squaring our heart front. Now switching the clasp of the fingers behind the head, pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat, elbows wide to the side, and then stretching those hands high to the sky. From here with the breath, pulling silk threads. We don't want to break the threads. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. We're halfway done. Breathing in, breathing out. Last two. Breathing in, breathing out. Last one. Breathing in, breathing out, and holding. As we hold cactus arms, I'll invite you to ripple those fingers. You might even make little fists. Just do it, let your hands tell you what they want to do. Beautiful. Nice. And then from here, we're going to move towards our first balance challenge on this side, the Warrior Three. So hands find the hips. You're going to spin the back heel up. Take your time. Either one big step or a couple of steps in. And Kathy probably will arrange yourself inside the frame. You all don't have to do that. Starting to pour weight into the standing leg as if you're pouring water into a bucket as that back foot gets light. Either keeping hands on hips or letting those arms just hang down, letting those shoulders relax. Yeah, and keep the knee of the standing leg soft. And then very organically starting to swing those arms. If you have to touch down, no big deal. And then very naturally, just letting those arms swing in front. And maybe lifting the face to look through the hands. And my suggestion, if you have a little more energy in those fingers, the balance is going to be a little easier. Nice, beautiful, look at that. Hands come back to the hips as we take a big step back, fighting warrior one with our hands on our hips. Now using those hands to steer warrior one hips to warrior two hips as we open up the hips to face the camera, so side wall at home, and then one long arm, and then looking out over those front fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze, yeah. And that's a good practice to have that look. Well, maybe not that. No need to frown. You be steady and relaxed.
I needed it the other day.
You needed it the other day. Yeah, give somebody a good
Didn't
frown.
have it.
From here, we're going to paint rainbows. Breathing in as we straighten the front leg without locking the knee. Exhaling, warrior two. We'll do 6 of these. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. We're halfway done. Inhale. And exhale. Last 2. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in and holding. Reaching up higher. Reaching down further. Finding more space between each rib with every breath. Breathing into that space and spreading the fingers of our hands wide as we mimic those ribs and find more space in our hands. Awesome. From reverse warrior back to warrior two. Now finding your rainbow warrior. Many of us will benefit from a strap or a towel. Kathy is, despite her protestations, has very open shoulders, so she can find a clasp of the fingers.
It's more massaging.
Shoulder blades back and down initially. Open heart, open throat as we take that big forward fold inside the front leg. Take your time. And then letting your shoulders slide from rib shelf down towards the floor. Relaxed neck, heavy, heavy head. As we hold the rainbow warrior, I'll invite you to gently rock your rainbow warrior. A little swing, a little sway. It's inviting any tension in your neck and shoulders to drain down through the crown of the head into the earth. In our rainbow warrior, I'll invite you to strongly tuck the chin as you come up. Lifting the chin tall to the crown, back to our warrior two. Moving towards our triangle, thumb and forefinger finds crease of hip and base of rib. We deepen that crease, we lengthen those ribs. On the little teacup, short and stout.
Yeah.
And either grounding down on your shin, or my preference is to set bricks up outside the calf. And make sure the bricks are high enough up, so that, or make sure you have enough support so you balance your foundational energy through the feet with that rising up energy in the shape. Beautiful. Before we get there, though, let's do a self-adjustment here. We want to rotate our ribs with that hand, yeah, and then open up the shoulder, and then stretch it up high. Do you feel any difference at all, or is it exactly the same?
It's pretty about the same.
About the same. Okay, that's fair
No,
enough.
but you're right. I hadn't done it with intention.
Yeah, no, like the self adjustments are nice. If you can get people to do it, for many of us, it does make a difference. Beautiful. As we hold the shape, classic shape, breathing into your center, and from that center, finding more amplitude in the shape from the inside out. And again, I feel the stronger you work that expansion through the limbs, the easier the balance will be. It's almost like you're pinning yourself to the walls, the ceiling, and the floor in a good way. From here, moving towards our half moon, top hand finds the hip, take your time. Softening the front knee, either one big step or a couple of steps in, and you adjust yourself for the frame, which is awesome. Make sure you wear a wide enough base so the base looks a little tight. You feel good? Yeah. And then lifting back leg as you pour weight into standing leg. And again, let's use that top hand to rotate ribs. Opening up shoulders, stretching hand high. And again, from the front, beautiful, beautiful half moon. Breathing in to center, and from that center, expanding out into the universe as we connect with the pulsation of our breath. And some say with the primal pulsation of the universe, starting all the way back with the Big Bang. I'm not sure what the cosmologists are saying these days, whether it's a pulsating universe or not, but I like to think of it that way. From here, coming down easily, top hand finds the hip, we can land a short stance. Shifting the weight into the feet, no big deal. Hands find the hips as we lengthen our stance. Coming back to our warrior two. And from warrior two, finding your windmill as you find your low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. And again, take your time, find your flow, follow your breath. Dancing through space with grace. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to your hands. Lots of strength in the hands. It's going to help support our wrists. I'll invite you to ground down through the base of the fingers, but draw the center of the palm up towards the shoulders as we draw energy up from the floor. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you either step or take that jump front. Nice light jump. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, stay low, coming back to your chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up, a little back bend at the top. On the exhale, neutral spine. Hands by your side. I'll ask you to face camera. As we bring hands to heart. This time adding an isometric engagement as we press the palms together, elbows wide. A tuck of the tail, a tuck of the chin, connecting with the strength of your center. And then lifting the chin tall to the crown. Hands by our side. So let's do another standing sequence. We'll add some twists. So I want everyone to be on the same page here at home. It doesn't make that much of a difference. So we're nice and wide with our stance. We're going to shift weight onto our right foot. Hands find the hips. And we're going to cross this left foot over for a cross step. So we've got left foot in front, right foot in back. From here, lowering our center of balance as we bend the knees. And I'm going to grab you some bricks just in case. From this place, arms out to the side on an inhale. So inhaling up. And then exhaling, finding your forward fold with crossed legs. If your hands reach the floor, awesome. If you're raising the floor with bricks, equally awesome. Take a breath to arc the back. And then arching the spine as we fold again. Again, letting that neck relax, letting the head be heavy, and then letting those shoulders slide off rib shelf down towards the floor. As we hold this shape any amount, I invite you to circle your hips, doesn't matter which way. Inviting more prana, more life force into the nooks and crannies of our hips. A lot of times that energy gets squeezed out because we sit for long periods on our job or on a bus or a train or a plane. And then taking those circles the other way. And let these be your circles. They could be big, they could be small, they might not even be a circle, but just communing with your hips. Now coming back center, carefully unwinding the legs. So we're going to bring left foot back, right foot front. Hopefully everyone's on the same page. I'll ask Kathy to go sideways. At home, you can stay just as you are, as you find your low lunge. From low lunge, I'll invite you to walk your hands inside the feet as you find a wide-angled forward fold. So I think you're going to walk towards the windows, Kathy.
I'm sorry, a wide angle.
So you're here, I'll demo here. So we're going to walk our hands inside
Oh,
the feet.
yeah.
As we make our feet parallel, yes. Take a breath to lift up, arcing the back, and then arching the spine as you fold, and either staying right here or walking your fingers back towards your toes as you challenge your balance. As we hold the shape, I'll invite you to gently rock your body weight front to back to front. Yeah, it's more about keeping two straight legs, and you're going front to back, heel toe. Yeah, there you go. And then letting a little more weight collect towards the toes, staying grounded through the heels, lifting the hips higher and folding a little deeper. From here, I'll invite you to walk your hands towards the back of your mat, your left foot. You're going to bring left hand outside left foot. Right hand catches the top of the shin, that's it. And then two straight legs as you look under that armpit. Now bending that front leg any amount as you get into that right hip. Straightening front leg, bending back leg any amount. And just back and forth between the sides another couple of times. And after you've done an equal number on both sides, two straight legs, and then releasing the shin as you walk your hands through center. And now right hand outside right foot, left hand catches the outside of the shin. Two straight legs initially as you look under that armpit. Now bending that back leg, that left leg. Now bending, straightening left leg, bending right leg, and just back and forth between the sides, 2 or 3 more times. Just let it be loose, let it be liquid. Just communing with your hips, your low back. And you could always use bricks to raise the floor on this one. And then back to center, 2 straight legs. Releasing the shin, I'll invite you to keep the hands front, or you can do something else before. So with hands front, we're going to come back to our low lunge as we lift up onto the toes. There you go. From low lunge, keeping back heel lifted as we bring hands to hips, moving towards high crescent lunge. It's a bit of a balance challenge. Find your balance. And then sweeping those hands high to the sky. Awesome. And this is your high crescent lunge. I'll invite you to lean the weight into that front foot without disturbing the knee as we stretch out Achilles tendon and calf on that back leg. Can you lift that heel even higher? Yeah, there you go. Beautiful, yeah. Nice. From here, I'll invite you to bring hand to the hip of the front leg, and that should be right hip, right hand to right hip. We can find length on the left side. And we're moving towards a twist here as we reach, reach, reach. Keeping that sense of length and side waist. We're not gonna pulse it. We're just gonna start the twist. Yeah, starting with the wrist, sliding to the elbow, finding your prayer hands. And I know your balance is a little tricky. I know we're twisted. It's gonna be hard to find that easeful quality to the breath, but calming the breath down, despite the balance, despite the twist. Long, smooth breaths in. Equally long, smooth breaths out. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. From here, let's come out of the twist easily as we frame front foot with both hands. And then I'll invite you to make your way back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa, stretching straight back, or making another choice instead. So let's play with our down dog a little bit. In down dog, I'll invite you to angle the heels out and point the toes in. And then angling the heels in, pointing the toes out. Just back and forth. Just windshield wipering those feet. Just seeing how your Achilles tendon feel. Interesting balance challenge. And then coming back center. And then stretching those heels down towards the floor. Any amount. From here, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you either step or take a jump to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. So hands cap the knees. Exhaling, folding again as we round the spine. Inhaling, stay low, moving towards your flat back, finding your chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up, glutes engaged, supporting that back bend at the top. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart. This time intertwining the fingers, keeping the heels of the hands together as you try to pull those fingers apart. A tuck of the chin, a tuck of the tail, connecting with the strength of your center. And then lifting the chin tall through the crown, hands by your side. So get this right. This can be confusing. So we're right here. I'll make sure you can see Kathy too. We're going to shift weight. So we're going to have our left foot front, right foot back. So we shift weight on the left side. We take this right foot and we cross it over. I know sometimes in video the sides get reversed, so if it looks
Left
different.
foot's in front.
Yeah, so we got right, because we're going to have right foot back, so we want right foot in front.
Left foot back.
And then we're going to step the right foot around, so the left foot will stay front, right foot will stay back. Yeah, perfect. From
But
here.
wait, this, are you sure?
Yeah, because we're going to do, so left foot, and then
Okay,
right foot's
got
in
it.
front. Yeah.
Awesome, thanks.
Okay. So you're going to lower your center balance a little bit here. You can, put the bricks down, but you want to keep your straight spine here because you're going to rise up here. So you want to go down a little bit low, but keep straight spine.
Right.
And then inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Take your time with the crossed legs. It might be a little difficult. If your hands come down to the floor, awesome. If you're raising the floor with bricks, equally awesome. Take a breath to arc the spine with crossed legs. So you want to look up, lifting chin and tail. Rounding the spine as you fold again. Relax neck, heavy head, and letting the shoulders slide off the rib shelf down towards the floor. As we hold the shape, I'll invite you to circle those hips any amount. Again, just inviting more prana, more vitality, more life force into the nooks and crannies of our hips. We get squeezed out when we sit for too long. And then we want to take those circles the other way. And it might not even be a circle. Just let it be you and your hips. A beautiful, maybe even a mystical experience. And then coming back to center. Now we're going to carefully unwind the legs. And if we've done everything properly here, we've connected the dots. We're going to unwind the legs, and your left foot should be front, right foot back. Kathy's going to go sideways for the video, but at home you don't have to do that. Yeah, we good?
Mhm.
Awesome. Now we're going to walk hands inside the feet. So we're going to make our feet parallel. You're going to face camera now. Wide angled forward fold. Take a breath to lift up. And then arching the spine as you fold. So you're going to fold, yeah. And then any amount, you're going to scoot those fingers back to the toes as you challenge your balance. As we hold the wide angled forward fold, any amount. Rocking your body weight front to back to front, waking up the back of your legs. And then challenging your balance as you let a little more weight collect towards the toes, staying grounded through the heels, lifting the hips higher, and folding a little deeper. From here, let's borrow a triangle from the Shivananda tradition. As you bring left hand center, right hand finds the hip. Now right hand opens up the ribs and then opens up that shoulder. Yeah, so two separate actions. You want to rotate the ribs here, and then you come to the shoulder. Yeah, so one action here. Now you can bring hand out, there it is. And now you're going to stretch that hand high for a big breath into your back. Let's try to keep, I want to keep the shoulder a little more aligned. Nice, beautiful. Coming out of the twist, we're going to bring left hand center, right hand finds the hip. Self-adjustment here, we bring hand under ribs, you want to feel that action. And now you open up the shoulder, and you want to feel arm and shoulder together. Yeah, so maybe less arm and more shoulder, yeah. And strong, strong, strong through those fingers. Nice, big breath into your back. Hand comes down, we're going to lift up onto the toes, so hand finds floor. You're going to walk yourself back to your low lunge facing front, so ideally left foot front, right foot back. From here, moving towards high crescent lunge, as you bring hands to hips to find your balance, back heel stays lifted. And then can you lift that back heel anymore? Yeah, really feel the stretch, and that's going to help you square the hips with the lifted back heel. And then stretching those hands high to the sky for high crescent lunge. This is a much harder pose than it looks. Looks just like the Warrior One, but with that lifted back heel, the balance gets tricky. From here, we're going to move towards our twist, and we're not going to pulse it. Left hand finds left hip. You're going to reach up and then reach out, keeping that sense of space inside waist as you move towards your twist. And we can start with the wrist, sliding to the elbow, finding your prayer hands, either looking down, off to the side, or up to the sky. We're twisted, we're balancing, still finding those long, smooth breaths in, followed by those long, smooth breaths out. Just take a quick gander, see if anyone else has joined us. Welcome, John. Coming out of our twist easily as we frame front foot with both hands. And one more time this morning or this afternoon, depending on where you're practicing. Back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back, yogi's choice. Take your time, find your flow. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you either step or take a jump to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, yeah, so feel that length. You want to look up, hands can cap the knees. And then exhaling, folding again. On the inhale, stay low, coming back to our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. And then on the exhale, neutral spine. I'll ask you to face camera. And let's go wide with our feet. Let's do one more breath exercise, and then we'll start to bring it down to the ground. So nice and wide with the feet. On the inhale, we can inhale arms out to the side. On the exhale, passing hands through center. Short, sharp exhalation out through the nose. And other side. Let's do 8. One more each side. And then back up. And either stepping or jumping it in thin like a pin. Now jump it out wide like a house. And then we're going to make it small like a mouse as we start to get ourselves down, rocking ourselves towards half squat. Maybe not that small. So we're going to find our half squat, elbows find the inner thighs, hands find the heart as we rock our squat from side to side. And from here, let's land the knees lightly as we find an all fours position. And I'll go sideways. In our all fours position, let's work a cat-camel combo. Breathing in, arcing the back as we unfurl the feet. Breathing out, tucking toes, tucking tail, tucking chin as we round it in. A couple more times like this. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, rounding it in. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, rounding it in. Let's throw a child's pose into the mix. Breathing in, arcing the back. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. We round the spine, drawing sits bones back towards the heels. Couple more times like this. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, rounding it back. Inhaling, lifting it up. Exhaling, rounding it back. Let's add diagonals. Inhaling up center. And then rounding the spine as we draw it back to a heel. Inhaling up center. On the exhale, finding that other heel. A couple more times each way. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhaling up center. Exhaling, diagonaling it back. One more time each side. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Now let's turn it into a figure eight. Inhaling up center. Drawing it back to a heel. Keep that hips low as we find the other heel. Up on the other diagonal. Shifting shoulders and hips. And back to first heel. And just keep going in this direction. Keeping it loose. Keeping it liquid. Just seeing how your back feels this morning. Or this afternoon. Depending on where you are. And then taking the figure eight the other way. Up on the other diagonal. Shifting shoulders and hips. And back to that other heel. And keep going this way. And then back to center. I'll invite you to find that child's pose with a stack of soft fists, letting your forehead rest on those fists as you gently rock your body from side to side. And from here, let's bring our feet off to one side and come onto our backs for our Shavasana, or final relaxation stretch. We won't be here too long. You want to get there through a long, slow roll down. Go for it. Laying your spine down as if you're laying pearls onto a cushion. Full body stretch when you get down there. Low back lifts. And then keeping that sense of space in the low back as you sweep your hands by your side, finding your Shavasana. I'm going to dim the lights here. Can't turn the sun off though. It's really bright in this little corner. Again, we will not be here for long. So I'm going to ring these yoga bells 3 times. Welcome, Dad. Welcome, Renee. Good to see you. And I'll invite you to move your mind before you move your body, bringing your attention back to your breath, watching as it flows in and watching as it flows out, much like watching a river as that river flows by. From a place of just watching your breath, I'll invite you to shape your breath, varying the ratio between the inhale and the exhale as we find a long, slow breath in, followed by an even longer, slower breath out. Keeping this more relaxing breath, inviting more prana, more vitality into your bodies as you gently ripple fingers and toes. Inviting that prana in towards center as we gently circle our wrists and our ankles a couple times each way. Adding a little shimmer of the shoulders, a little shake of the hips, whatever feels right and good for you. Connecting with your own innate sense of well-being. Now pressing your back into the mat to support the action of the legs. As we draw one knee into the heart, the other knee follows. Hands cap the knees. Using your thighs to gently massage your low belly as you gently lift and lower the low back and hips, front to back, side to side, little circles, whatever feels right and good for you. Keeping the knees close in, reaching back with a hand to lift and tuck the chin, keeping the neck relaxed. Chin stays tucked, hand comes back to the shin. You might also catch the back of the thighs as we start to rock ourselves front to back, back to front, massaging our spine. And then popping on up to claim a cross-legged sit. As we sit, I'll invite you to bring your hands onto your knees, pulling back with your hands to settle your shoulders. Long through all sides of the neck with a soft tuck of the chin. I'll invite you to bring one hand onto the heart, the other hand on top. Ending our practice as we started, listening and feeling as our breath flows in and out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga, and as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. The light within us honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kathy, for practicing with me.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you at
everyone.
home for practicing with us. And we'll see you next time. And I do this joke every week. Namaste sounds so much like, have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Bye, everybody.